When you are taking advantage of automations Goodshuffle's offering, like the custom email templates that can now be triggered off of a variety of actions within the platform, whether that is following up on a quote sent, pre-scheduling emails before or after a delivery. There's so many triggers now. I want you to make sure that you're stopping to think about how that template is being leveraged. What I mean by that is a template for the sake of a template just to check a box isn't going to really solve a problem for you. You have to think about what is the purpose of the email and when the client is receiving it. Is it creating more clarity for them? Is it giving them answers and access to information while also reducing the burden of you remembering to send that email? So, in my latest newsletter of busy season, I dropped some of my newsletter tips and writing tips that I give with my team, such as like bluff, starting with the bottom line up front. Don't bury the action or the steps that you need your prospect or client to take. One of my biggest pet peeves in that is the tub framework. So I hate emails that start with I, because the communications that you're giving with your prospects or clients should always be anchored in them and how this message relates to them. Another one that I often point our team to is making sure that there's a clear call to action in emails. So if the email is just like an FYSA for your situational awareness, make that clear. If you need the client to take a specific action, say that as succinctly and concretely as possible to drive the message home. As you're customizing email templates, another thing to keep in mind is the length of emails that you're sending. A temptation might be that, like, oh my gosh, I'm going to send this big email with tons of information in it. And the truth is, our attention spans are shot. So emails really need to be short and concise. You also need to write them assuming that the client is going to read them on a mobile device. So big, long paragraphs of information is not going to cut it. Email should contain like 2 to 3 talking points. Separate your paragraphs almost so that every sentence gets its own line and makes it easy for the prospect to digest that information. Another hack is a lot of times in written language, folks tend to get overly formal. And really, again, going back to the attention spans of folks and helping them digest information, you're going to want to make sure your emails are written at or below a fourth grade reading level. And it's not because your prospects or customers can't understand something above a higher reading level. It's all about making the information easy to digest. And so as they're coming across your information in the middle of a busy day, they're not having to go through the extra step to interpret it. It's just super simple for them to know, okay, hey, here's when I need to sign this quote by. Otherwise, I might not get my items from you. Or here's I need to confirm my delivery address in order for you to schedule the delivery. Or after an event is over, like, here's the survey that I need to finish in order to, redeem $100 off the next time I do business. Just make the call to action really clear and the steps to do that as easy as possible. So as we're getting into this age of AI and everyone's talking about like workflows and all this automation, the thing I want Goodshuffle Pro users and really just like everyone in this space to think about is, what is the workflow or what is the automation helping you achieve? Not just an item that's going to get checked off your checklist, but what is having this automation in place going to solve 2 or 3 steps down the road? So before you're setting up those automations, think about the biggest time sucks in your business and then automate backwards from there of like, okay, here are the triggers that I need. And then the step beyond that is, how do I need to craft this messaging so that my client takes action? They don't just receive that and then pick up the phone call and you end up on the phone for 30 minutes with them anyway.